so let's start with a little bit of a review from yesterday. What are the 4 types of slope? What type of positive?
Positive.
Positive.
Nice,
Negative. Zero.
Undefined.
Language. You said it fast too. Like you knew it was wrong.
Oh, I told Miss Bennett that, and she was like, "Oh, that's a cuss word in math."
It is. She knows. These guys know your lingo. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna edit that out because that's not school appropriate. Which way do we read a graph?
From left to right.
Left to right, just like you read a book. That's important. Left to right, very important. So this one, what type of slope is this?
Up.
Positive. This one?
Negative.
Nice, negative. This one? Zero fun.
Undefined.
Language.
Are you being for real, or like is it just a joke?
It's just a joke. But for real, don't say it in here. Alright, so just a little review. This should be in your notes from yesterday, but let's just quickly go through and do them. So we start by connecting our points, and then what do we do?
Draw the triangle.
Guys, this is not on your little thing, it's in your notes. So if you're wanting to follow along with me, just open up your notebook to yesterday's notes. So we connected our dots. Now what? Draw the line. Draw the little slope triangle. And slope is what over what?
Rise over what?
Rise over. I was gonna start that today. Okay. So it's how far up and down over how far left and right. So first of all, is this nice negative or puff positive? Nice negative. So you remember I told you there's 2 different ways you can do it. One way is just to put dots.
Oh, I'm living with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do the next one without the dots because I may not have told you. But you can just put the dots. Some people don't like the loops because y'all have like terrible handwriting. Here's what it is. How far down is that?
3.
How far over is that?
3.
It's a 3 and a B. What is 3 divided by 3?
1.
Negative 1. So that would be your answer. You have to reduce. E to F.
That's just B to C.
Yes, ma'am. If it's decimal, you hit math, enter, or math 1, enter, and it will make it a fraction. We just talked about those.
Curse word.
Undefined. No, you supposed to put it on the wrong one.
What? Oh, I didn't I? Oh, I got this.
The F.
There we go. B to C. I just completely skipped one today. B to C is right here. My calibration's off, so this is going to be fun. It's because the air conditioning messes with that. Alright, so I'm going to do my triangle above this time just to stay away from the other one. Does it matter if you do it above or below?
No.
It does not matter.
Are you anxious?
Yeah, it is. It hurts my head a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. What's the rise
3.
and the run? I suggest you pick one way and you do it that way every time. That way you're not flipping it around and you get mixed up. 3 over 6, what does that reduce to? 1/2. Alright, we did E to F because I can't read. A to E. It is a triangle. It's a very, very skinny one. Puff, positive, nice, negative. Puff. What's the rise?
1.
And the run?
11.
that reduce?
No.
Okay. B to D. What type of slope is that?
0.
0. B to F.
Nice negative.
Minus negative. Pin that straight. I wasn't even close to that.
Oh.
Plus 1. How far down?
7.
7.
How far over?
10.
Did it reduce? So remember how to do it from yesterday. Good review. Okay. So before we start today, I want us to practice finding some lines. So you need a protractor and your little Smart Pal dry erase board.
That notes.
Yeah, this is part of notes. So you need this. Oopsie. Alright, so we're going to start by finding points. That's what we're going to do, start by finding points on a line. So I want you to connect, let's do a short one.
That's short.
Connect P to T. And I want you to take up your entire graph when you connect it. So don't just draw a little short line between P and T. Take up the entire graph. In order to find slope on a line, we have to be able to locate points. And so when I say point, you see how this point is perfect on these little crosshairs? Okay, that's what I mean. So like points. So these are all nice points, right? All of these. So we want to find points, but we need to find points that are on the line. We know P is a point and T is a point because they told us that. There is one more point. There's one more place on this line where it perfectly crosses. Where it perfectly crosses the grid line. Where's another one? Stop me when if you think you see it.
It's on the end. No, you know this point.
Right there?
Yeah.
That's it. Because it's perfectly on the grid lines. No other point is perfectly on the grid line. See how this one's just slightly below?
Yeah.
This one's slightly above. It's got to be perfect. Okay, so whenever we're finding slope from a line, it's just like finding slope from the points. You just have to find the points first. Okay, so how would I find slope from this? What would I do? How would I find the slope? Draw my slope triangle. So I'm going to use these 2 points. It's going uphill, so it's puff, puff, positive. Going up to, over how far?
3.
3. See if that reduces. Do 2 divided by 3. If it gives you a decimal, math, enter, return it back into a fraction. Two over three? Okay. So let me ask you, does it matter if I pick these 2 points? If I pick 2 different points, do you think I'll get a different answer? You don't think so? What if I pick these 2 points way out here? Think I'll get a different answer?
Yeah.
Alright, so go ahead and pick these 2 points like I did. And then let's see. Go ahead and pick these 2 points, and let's see if it changes my answer. Alright, same line, just 2 different points. Nobody shouted anything out. What's the rise this time?
4.
Rise is 4. What's the run?
5. 6.
6. Still positive. So I want you to see if that reduces in your calculator. You do 4 divided by 6. If it gives you that decimal, convert it to a fraction. Math, enter. What's your calculator say? 2/3.
That's 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, that's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh,
6.
you don't count the corner.
You go all the way to the corner. Corner to your dot. Count them up. So does it matter which 2 points you pick? The slope's the same on the line. At any 2 point, all you need is 2 points. The further away you pick, the bigger your numbers get and you'll have to reduce. The closer you are, the more likely you are not to have to reduce. But either way, after you reduce, you come up with the same answer. That's why I'm making you reduce. Okay. So let's do it again. Got to practice finding dots. Let's connect M and X. Don't use a tissue. I've got napkins. Tissues are for noses. Alright, we know X and M are points because they tell us. But I want you to find every other point that's on that line. Any other point that perfectly crosses the grid lines. Perfectly crosses those X and Y lines. Yeah, how many are there? Pretty much only all of them. So it starts with one here, and then one here, and 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 here. Just those. None of the other ones.
What do you mean?
Just those. What do you mean? What do you mean? Alright, so let's try to find our slope. Let's pick these two to start out with. Pick these two. Three over 3. Puff, puff, positive or nice, negative. What does that reduce to?
1.
Okay. Let's do this one now. That itty bitty triangle. You're right, you read it from left to right. So whenever you're drawing your slope triangle, if you will start from the left point and move to the right, see how I went up? That's how I know it's puff puff positive. If you go left to right, it'll kind of help. 1 over 1, which is what? 1. Will I get a different answer if I pick these 2 points?
Yes.
Yes? Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's 7 over 7? So does it matter which ones I pick?
So say anything that has the same number we want.
Yeah. Anything divided by itself is 1. Smiley face divided by smiley face is 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. Doesn't matter what it is. A divided by A is 1. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, that's baby algebra. Alright, so more practice. Having some fantastic dot fun here. Oh, that would spell a bad word, so let's not do that. Let's do W and R. No, let's not do W and R. I changed my mind. U and Y. Whew, that one was difficult. I'm gonna redraw my line. Mine's all messed up. Do what? Yeah, so Mr. Malmer stole my rulers for the day, so I'll have those back tomorrow. That'll make this a little bit easier. Alright, that's a lot better. Right. So we know U is a point and Y is a point. So find as many other points as you can find. To be a point, it's got to cross through that. The line's got to cross through the center. So that's not a point because it doesn't cross through the center.
Wait, so is H a point?
Does it cross through the center? Here's H. Does it cross? Does the line cross through the center?
Oh.
No. All right, so I'm gonna start up here. Stop me when you see one.
Stop.
Because it crosses perfectly. Any more up here? Okay.
No.
No, what is 3, 5 on?
3, 5, yeah.
Oh yeah,
How do I get what to be like what? You got to start with these 2 points. I'll show you next time. Okay. So just look on my screen for now.
Stop.
Stop. Wait.
These should be the points. My line's a little bit off there at the bottom. All right, but we have all these points, right?
Yep.
Pick 2.
The one by Q.
The one by Q. Where's Q at? Help me out. Right up here? Okay. This.
And then the one by the W.
The R.
All right. This one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You would pick the biggest triangle out there. That's fine. So what's the rise? What's the run? Puff, puff, positive or nice, negative?
Puff, puff, puff.
Okay, so see if 12 over 8 reduces. It does. What does it reduce to? It does. Trust yourself.
Wait. 3 over 2? 3. 3 over 2. Is that right? Simplify.
Yep. 3 over 2.
No.
3 over 2. Alright, let's do one more on this. I'll try to pick dots that are closer. Let's do BQ. Connect B to Q. Alright, so the way I get my line perfect is I have to make sure I get B and Q perfect. Because we know those are points because they tell us that they're points. So those are pretty perfect, right? So once you get those two perfect, just slide it along. Match it back up, make sure it's nice and matched up. Oh, I just erased everything, good grief. There we go.
Much richer.
Is that better?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
It'll be a lot easier when I get your rulers too.
I picked the easy one.
Find as many dots as you can. We know B and Q are dots because they tell us. I'm going to start down here. Stop me when you see one.
Stop. Stop.
Oh, wow.
Stop.
Just do it.
I didn't know what to say because I'm crazy.
Stop.
Look how smart y'all are. Alright, pick 2 points.
One by
The
X.
one by the E.
Huh?
E.
Is that a cube there before?
Yeah, I forget where the E was. Is it up here?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, E and X. That's the 2 letters I heard. If you don't want to do this big triangle, does it matter? We'll come up with the same answer. Promise you.
You should.
Puff puff positive or nice negative? Puff puff positive. What's the rise?
6. 6.
6.
Don't count this corner box.
I did.
I didn't do that. I did on the X.
Well, you don't have your line all the way across your graph, so you probably got your line slightly off. What's the run? What does that reduce to? 1/2. So if I picked this close triangle, because that's the easy one, that would have given me 1/2. Right, and been slightly easier. The closer they are, the less you have to reduce.
We would have done from the one next to F and then
Yeah, any two that are back to back, you basically you won't have to reduce. All right, so let's erase this. We'll come back to this in a minute. Back to your notes. So get your notes out from yesterday. I know they're glued in, so they're going to be a slight pain in the butt to write on.
Oh, hello, mama.
Bless you. So just like we did on the dry erase boards, start by finding points. So line A is right here. Start by finding points. Stop me when you see a point.
Yeah. Stop.
Oh, man.
Stop.
Stop.
That's a little bit low.
Stop.
It's just a little bit too low there, so it's not that one.
Why is it?
Right here. It's just a little bit below. So pick two of those dots and find your slope. I'm gonna pick these top two. Positive or nice negative?
Nice.
Negative.
Nice negative. How far down does it go?
2,
How far over?
6, 5.
Alright, and so let's check and see if that will reduce. 2 divided by 5. Math is your intro. What do you get? Just means it doesn't reduce. B. Find your dots on B.
That does not look like a B.
Right, it's pretty, it kind of looks like a 6 to me. How many dots do you have on B?
Every single one.
Yeah, only all of them. Just those.
So basically just 0.
Okay, so we know that that's the 0 fun because we watched Slope Dude. But here's why it's 0. What's the rise?
0.
Okay.
0. Okay? So say I wanted to do these two dots. The rise would be 0, and what would the run be?
0.
3. Because it still runs. So say I wanted to do.
Where you get 3 from?
Alright, so you gotta listen. Say I wanted to do these two dots. Right? The rise would be 0. What would the run be?
2,
3. What is 0 divided by 3?
0.
0. Put it in your calculator. 0 divided by 3. Put it in your calculator. Put it in your calculator. 0 divided by 3. 0. So, what if I did these 2 dots? So my run would be, my rise would be 0, my run would be 8. What's 0 divided by 8? 0. Type it in. I'm sure your math skills. Type it in. 0. That's why it's 0 fun, right? Because your rise is 0. And 0 divided by anything is 0. C. Find your dots on C. So how many dots does C have?
All of them.
Yeah, just all of them.
So it's basically B. Just that.
Kind of like B. What type of slope is this?
And positive.
Plus positive. So I'm going to pick these dots way up here. Do you have to pick the same dots as me? No. So after we reduce, we'll round up with the same answer.
2/2.
So what is my rise?
2/2.
What's my run?
2.
And what is 2 divided by 2?
1.
1.
B. Yeah, just all of them again. Alright, so say I wanted to use those 2 dots. The big ones.
Wouldn't that be
I mean, we know what the answer is because we've watched Slow Do, but here's why it's that answer. What would my rise be?
4?
My rise would be 4. What would the run be?
0.
Type it into your calculator. 4 divided by 0.
Error.
Error. Are we allowed to divide by 0?
No.
No. That's why this is undefined. Sorry for my language.
So that's what,
We can't divide by 0, so we can't give a number to this. We don't know how to. There's no number in math that we can do this with. Alright, back to your dry erase board for more practice. Find the one that looks like this. It's on the back of your dry erase, so flip it over. Just do that.
I don't want to do that.
Alright, so we're going to keep track of everything here, but because this is a hot mess, I want you to erase every time. So don't erase your answer. Keep your answer over here, but erase your dots. Alright, so start by locating L and find your dots on L. Works better with the marker. I know, so we're just looking at L. We're looking at this one right here. So stop me when there's another one.
stop.
So I'm gonna try to stay away from this nastiness over here, and I'll do these two. Find your slope. Puff, positive or nice, negative?
Positive.
What's up? You got a question?
Yeah, I have the answer.
Okay, so how far up? 4, how far over?
1.
And that reduces to
1.
4.
Okay, you see that?
4 divided by 1.
On the paper, you said always keep our answer in a fraction.
Or a whole number.
So we're heading to something big.
No, 1/4 is 0.25. If I gave you a quarter instead of $4, you'd be happy or mad.
No.
Because that's the difference between 4 and 1/4. $4 or 1/4.
Oh.
Big difference, right? Alright, so try M. Where is M? Alright, so M kind of cuts across where O is. If I were you, I'd erase all this mess each time.
Give me some medicine.
Wait, can I go to? Do I have to go to the nurse to take the medicine? I have my binder.
You're not supposed to have medicine in your binder.
Like over the counter nurse.
You're not supposed to have anything in your binder at all.
Oh, then can I go get the nurse?
Hold on. You have to have at least 2.
I just did the -1 and -5.
Well, is mom bad?
-1, -5 down here.
And -5.
Oh, this is, I see what you mean, yeah. Those, as long as you have those 2, you should be good. That's all.
What is it?
Rise,
Oh, it
overrun. Rise, overrun.
I did that, the other one.
Wait, it'll be the same. Rise, overrun.
Okay, so it's run.
No. Did you do rise, overrun, or did you do run, over, rise? Did you do the up and down number on top? How far down does he go?
I just did that on the last one and I did it wrong.
On this one?
Yeah, I put the 1 over the 4. I can't see that.
What's the rise?
To get in the 4.
What's the rise here? See the difference?
Is it 5 or 6? I don't know.
It looks like the pit. It looks like it's glowing.
Puff, positive or nice, negative?
I mean negative.
Nice, negative. How far down does it go? How far over?
5.
Does that reduce?
No.
N.
Look down at the bottom next to Q.
Okay, hey, you just said right there. Stop it when you see another dot. That's a hot mess in there.
Stop. Stop it.
So,
Gold like I'm a child. Find your slope. I'm gonna pick the top two. If you want your slope like mine, I'm going to pick the top two. Remember to go from left to right, and I'm gonna tell you positive or negative. From left to right. How positive or nice negative? Nice negative.
negative.
Do you know your left and your right?
Yeah.
From left to right. What direction am I going? Is that up or is that down?
Oh, that's
How far down?
4, 1,
How far over?
1.
I'm not done practicing.
Equal.
We're practicing.
4.
It was negative 4.
Yeah.
Oh. If I connect them from left to right, am I going uphill or downhill?
Uphill.
Uphill.
Positive.
Oh, positive. How far up? How far over? That does not reduce. Alright, last one together. P. Last one together. P. P. Huh. I know, it's kind of much. That's why I put on the dry erase board thinking maybe that'll help a little bit. I don't know if I did though. From left to right, what's happening?
Negative.
Nice, negative. How far down?
2,
How far over?
3.
You feel better?
Yeah.
Alright, the key piece is finding those dots.